we're running out of time here. I do have one more question for you, and it pertains to Packview as a software company. I'm curious if you can give us some insights here. Resiliency and failure. I've heard you talk about this before or write about it or something, where sometimes the tech doesn't work. And in your case, tech doesn't work, boxes don't move, millions of dollars lost. For us, if buttons don't work, automation doesn't flow, then advertisers can go a little haywire, things can go wrong. How do you, we've got a lot of client-facing people listening in, like what's the best way to mitigate, well, not mitigate risk, but kind of like put out the fire in those situations?
First of all, you need to understand what your failure modes are. There's a whole block of study called failure mode analysis. If something fails, like, does that mean you spend lots of money? You spend zero money? You continue spending the same amount of money? That would be the first question I would ask is, what are your failure modes? And then the second is, like, do you have monitoring on each of those things? Because things are going to break, but you have redundancy across data centers or across servers, and end of pipe monitoring, which is, you want to look at every minute or every 15 minutes or whatever the thing is. How much did we spend in the last 15 minutes? Is it more or less than it was in the 15 minutes before? And if it, drops to zero, you probably want to send up a flare. Your customers will detect it pretty quickly, right? We would see when pricing would fail, within 6 hours, revenue would start to drop because we were losing buy boxes or whatever. You don't want your customers to call you. You want to detect it and call your customers. And I don't know, how big your tech team is and whatnot. We would always do, we called it Q4 prep, but it was always, just good hygiene. What are your failure modes? Do you have configuration that could fail? Do you have enough servers? Is it set on auto scaling? All of those things that we'd ask once a year, and we'd go really deep on it. And then that would tide us over for several months. And you probably need to do it 2 or 3 times a year, or ideally continuously.